The mother of all microphones for streamers versus the legendary old-timer. The Blue Yeti versus the Shure SM58. Who will win? Only one will leave alive. Well, on a little more peaceful note, guys. Hey everyone, I'm Dan the Can Man, and today we're going to compare these two golden microphones. The infamous Blue Yeti. I'm sure you've all heard about this guy. It's pretty much the go-to for any streamer. Unless you're rich and you can afford the SM7B, this is pretty much what everyone goes for. Actually, it retails at kind of a high price. It's actually surprisingly expensive. I say cheap because I got it myself brand new for like 60 bucks because it constantly goes on sale. Versus the Shure SM58 is a solid $99. So actually, in the grand scheme of things, every single day, the Shure actually is cheaper, but the Blue Yeti honestly will go on sale a lot. And you can, for used, you can buy it much cheaper than the Shure. Also, two huge differences. The Blue Yeti is a USB microphone versus the Shure SM58 is an XLR. So the Blue Yeti, since it's USB, you can plug and play. All you have to do is plug it into your computer and boom. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I have the Blue Yeti plugged into my computer and that's how you're hearing this audio. Versus the Shure SM58 is actually plugged in with an XLR cable to the Zoom H6 into an SD card. So that's another thing you have to consider in price points. If you're doing it for live streaming, obviously you have an XLR setup, you need an audio input, something like the Focus Scarlett. That's gonna cost you 100, 150 bucks to also get that. Whereas with the Blue Yeti, all you have to buy is the microphone itself. Caveat, you should also absolutely buy a windscreen and a pop filter. Because without those, your plosives, like the p, and a lot of the wind is going to get through without it. So you absolutely need those two things. And a mic stand. Honestly, a lot of streamers will use the Blue Yeti just in its normal stand while they have the keyboard. And they'll just be typing along. And that will not work. It's going to pick up a lot of things. But if you have it on a mic stand, it's just not going to pick up as much. So, which one is better? Let's see. This is the Shure SM58. As you can see, it sounds very, very clear. It picks up the low parts of my voice really, really well, which is one of my favorite things about this microphone. And here's the Blue Yeti. Obviously, because it's a USB microphone, I can't deal with all the gain stuff with it as well as I can with the Shure, which I have plugged into the Zoom's H6. If you have it into an audio interface like the Focus Scarlett, you can, mess around with the gain during the live stream or even while you're recording. Whereas the Blue Yeti, once it's set, you can't really adjust it much. So that's a huge strength for the Shure SM58. The fact that you can adjust your levels as you're speaking into it. So if you're in the middle of a stream or in your podcast and people are peaking, you can deal with that. But with the Blue Yeti, you can't. So there's that. In terms of how well they pick up the sound, the Blue Yeti is incredible in my mind in how well it picks up the voice. Again, in my mind, the Blue Yeti is a much cheaper microphone. So for the fact that this cheap setup can grab the sound this well is really impressive. Obviously, the Shure SM58 sounds smoother at the end of the day, but I really have to get up close. I already have the preamp set to 6. In the post, I will have to boost this quite a lot as well. So keep that in mind. In terms of the distance, this is what they both sound like respectively. Here's the Blue Yeti, and this is what it sounds like when I'm about 3 fists away. And here's the SM58, and this is what the SM58 sounds like when I'm about 3 fists away. So with the Blue Yeti, the sound is taken from the front. Actually, you can set it to have you want it to be. You can actually have someone on both ends, on both sides of the microphone, if you set it correctly, to pick up sounds like that. I just put it in the cardioid mode, so it just picks up from this one side. Whereas the SM58, it directly just picks up right from the top. Now, I'm not going to go into super crazy experiments here. You hear the sound quality, you hear how it sounds like from a distance. At the end of the day, which one sounds better? The SM58 absolutely sounds better, but if you are looking into this video for live streaming, if you want to get on Twitch or Mixer,
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
On Twitch or YouTube, Facebook, whatever, wherever you're trying to stream, this is tough to beat. You get the Blue Yeti, it's on sale regularly for 60 bucks, or you can buy it used, maybe 50, 60. Throw in the mic arm, the windscreen, the pop filter. You're looking at easily less than 100 bucks for the whole setup. Whereas if you go with an XLR system, like the SM58, not only will you need the mic stand, the pop filter, all of that, but on top of that, you're gonna need an audio interface that you can plug it into. You need XLR cables. it is going to sound better, but this setup's going to cost you easily over $250 or more. So because of that, does an XLR microphone or the Shure SM58 sound better? Yes. But is it worth it over a Blue Yeti setup if you're just starting out and you just want to get into streaming? No. If you're wanting to get into streaming or making videos of your own, that's what they both sound like with a lot of background noise. So at the end of the day, if you want to get into streaming or making YouTube videos and you just need the cheapest setup you can get, that's going to sound really good, the Blue Yeti is the way to go. A lot of people hate on it. I'm not exactly sure why, but as long as you have the mic stand, the pop filter, the windscreen, it sounds incredible. My friends and I actually have a podcast. It's called the Unsung Heroes Podcast. You can check that out. And for that whole series, I used the Blue Yeti microphone. Now, the first 6-7 episodes, I was actually talking to the back of the microphone. Yeah, imagine. So the audio there isn't that great, but then the rest, my friend uses an AT2020, which is a solid XLR microphone. But when you think about the fact that you pay half as much or even less than an XLR setup, I think it's tough to beat. Well, there you have it, guys. Let me know which microphone you think sounded the best and which one you have or which one you'd like to go for. Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, please subscribe. We're going to have more comparisons like this in the future. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.